Hello. Hi. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Natascha. It's nice to meet you. If you're not new here, hi. I kind of disappeared for a minute, but I needed to. It was summertime. Please forgive me. There was way too much happening this summer with family, friends, health, so much to catch you up on. If you watch me as my YouTube channel, thank you. If you listen to me or watch me as my podcast, The Curiosity Quest, thank you. If you just know me from social media, thank you. If you don't know me at all, thank you for just being here. I really appreciate it. There's so much to catch up on, and I do want to make this like a kickoff for The Curiosity Quest along with a life update for the YouTube. So I'm just gonna put this onto the Curiosity Quest podcast as well if you want to listen to it instead of watch it. But just give you I guess like a quick snippet of where I'm at, who I am, where I'm going kind of thing. And if you want to be here, I'd love to have you here. I'm all about community and making connection. I know a lot of people say that, but genuinely that is, I believe, the whole point of life and being alive is to be connected as people. And if I can do anything to help that come together for more, then awesome. And I want to build a hive network of people that just love each other, not just try and get things from each other, but genuinely can sit together and do things together and make something really special out of this life before we eventually die. So some quickie updates just professionally. I am a grief coach. I work with individuals moving through grief as well as identity work. So identity is a huge part of grief work, but I do work with individuals who are working to become leaders as well and building their identity in this world so that they can express themselves appropriately in their careers and in their leadership roles. But I actually just started my end-of-life doula certification. So I will be working with individuals at the end of their life, which is really exciting. And my hope for that is just to bring more, I have something in my eye. I'd love to offer more grief and death literacy in the Western world. I feel as though there is a better basis around birth and death and grief and change within other cultures. And most of them are spiritually driven, but not all. Whereas Western cultures lost connection to that, which is really sad. So that's something that I am working to develop. And then me as just a person, hi. So my life has had a huge, crazy change this past few months, and it's been weird. I'm an athlete, and I ran my second marathon in May. And then recently after that, I got my IUD removed because eventually I want to have children. And then I ended up in the ER twice, finding out that I have gallstones and I have to get my gallbladder removed. So I wasn't able to move or do any type of movement. And as an athlete, you can imagine how crazy that was for me for 4 weeks. And what was wild about it was that I didn't even want to move because I was so sick. Like, I don't know if anybody else watching here has had gallstones or had any kind of liver, pancreas, bile issues before, but I was so nauseous. I've lost a decent chunk of weight. That is not healthy. And that's another thing that I just eventually want to talk about, is how inappropriate people talk about things when in regard to health. Like, for example, I've lost a decent chunk of weight. It's not a good thing. And I've said that, and the immediate response from quite a few people is, oh, I wish I could lose weight. And I'm like, wow, okay. I don't. Like, you really dropped the ball with that. And it makes me not want to speak about what's happening with me health-wise, because I feel as though so few people know how to hold space for it. But I'm also hyper aware of the fact that the more that I can talk about it and the more that I can like nurture that conversation point and help people to understand what's appropriate, not appropriate, the better these conversations can be. So I'm in this like weird place of these moments of I just don't ever want to talk to anybody about it ever again, while also feeling like I know I need to do the work and put in the time to build the conversations in a way that feel better, while also just being like, I don't want to deal with this. I feel like that's super relatable. Anyway, so I'm just starting to get back to movement now. There's certain things that I can do, certain things I can't do. Like upper body movements, I find I'm a lot more restricted because they're moving my rib cage in such a way that's causing me pain, like during and then afterwards, and it's just holding on. But I am so much better than I was. So it's this, again, period of time that's just really strange. I've changed my eating entirely. I'm on a pretty strict low-fat eating regimen so that I don't get sick. And we've tested it where we're like, oh, maybe I can have fats. And I ended up puking up all of the food. Sorry if that's disgusting to people, but that's my reality. I have had people ask, they're like, well, do you think that maybe you're better now and you can do it? And I'm like, I think I am, and then I try, and then it turns out that I'm really not. And I don't like puking. So I just am needing to stay true to this little path that I'm on right now. I can't get pregnant on this path because apparently gallstones are way worse when you're pregnant. My surgeon that I was referred to couldn't get me in for like a year. So I'm waiting on a different surgeon to call me who still hasn't. It's a weird purgatory place. It's a weird place of being in between. So I'm just really finding myself right now. And I don't know, maybe somebody else is in that same place. And if you are, please reach out. I've had some really good conversations with people just sharing this, and it's made me feel really good. And I know that might sound selfish, yet it also made those people feel good. So hopefully if you're going through something similar and we talk about it, you can feel less alone too. Again, connection is, to me, the whole point of being alive. So yeah, I'd love to connect. Other things, I mean, relationships are great. We were planning to move away for a year. Originally Australia, and then it turns out it's really difficult to bring a dog, super expensive and extremely stressful process for a dog. So we're now thinking Portugal for a year, but now with this diagnosis and me ending up in the hospital twice, we really don't see it as making much sense or being very safe to leave Canada until I have my gallbladder removal surgery, which could be a year. So now we're starting to think maybe, just maybe, we tour Canada instead. And I feel like that adventure could be equally fun. The point being, we want to go on an adventure before we have children, and we'd like to have children in the next couple of years. So this is something that I find to be very important, and it's starting to feel more and more and more important and sacred and necessary. So we're feeling that out. And if we do that, which I believe is where we're at now, we're going to do our own channel. So you guys will get updates over here, but me and him are actually going to take you through the process of buying a motorhome and going and like actually looking at motorhomes and updating it if we need to update it, upgrade it. What we're looking at for costs, we've already been assessing what that would look like. Like we've already did a little bit of work, and now I'm like, maybe this would be valuable to others as well. I don't know. We do have a viewing of one in September, actually in like 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens. I'm letting whatever comes come, and whatever happens happen. I've also been creative without a purpose of late, which has felt so good. And now I feel like I'm being drawn back to acting again, which is so cool. I mean, I didn't leave acting because I was feeling poorly about myself or hating acting. I stopped because I was relying on it to process my emotions. Like it was the only way I felt safe being emotional. I didn't feel safe being emotional as just a person. And I had this like major crash out in life. I broke up with my ex. I was living on my own for the first time, and I realized I just didn't know who I was or what I was doing. And I didn't feel safe to be feeling those emotions at that time, which gave me this huge red flag indicator that I was toxically relying on acting to process what I was going through instead of sitting with it as a person. So I didn't leave acting because it was toxic to me. I left acting because I was toxic to it. And I love it. I love it as an art form. I love bringing people's stories to life. I love listening to people's stories. So just being, I hate using the word coach, but being a coach to people and sitting with them and witnessing them is the greatest honor of my life. And it feels like people to me are these novels. And if you love reading, I feel like you'll understand this. Like when you're reading a character and they're just, you slowly get to find out more and more and more about them and their history, and then you get to see them in this new beautiful way. Like, people are incredible. I love people. Getting to sit across from them and hear their stories and witness them in these really intense moments is so special to me. I can't express that enough. And then on top of that, when I was acting, I got to actually bring them to life and allow their story to be projected through me to these people, so that other people could get to know them. And it's like, to me, that's what acting is. That's my interpretation of what it is and what it means, and I love it. It's very special, and to me, sacred as well. People's stories are sacred to me. So yeah. What else? Wow. I think that might be it. I had signed up for races. I can't do them right at this point. We'll see where we're at in October. Maybe I'll be able to still do the Turkey Trot 10K. I was hoping to run it fast, but considering the fact that I haven't been able to run because my first flare, would it be called a flare? Yeah, I think that's what they called it at the hospital. My first gallbladder flare happened when I was running. I thought it was a stitch, and then it just felt like it exploded, and then it was horrible. And I'm really good at being in pain, so I waited days before finally going to the ER, and then I went, and they're like, you have gallstones. And I'm like, sweet. Oh my gosh, I am really bad at gaslighting myself health-wise. So I know that's also relatable to some other people. Yeah, that's where we're at. I'm glad to be in front of the camera again. I'm glad to be here with everybody. I'm so excited for what's to come. I don't know what this next year looks like. I have a whole other business venture that I can't talk about yet, but I'm beyond pumped for. It's going to take a bit of time to get it up on its feet, but I partnered with somebody who is so brilliant, and the work we're going to do is so aligned. When the time comes, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. That's it. I got more fish. I got more plants. I started my garden. You know, these little things that really bring me joy in life. And with this pause because of my health, it's really brought me back to what matters to me the most, which is connection to nature, connection in general, feeling alive through those things, and sitting in my truth, sitting in my emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, and just being okay. A lot of people, when I say that I'm going through something, immediately assume that I can't handle it. And I don't think that's just me. I think that's just a human conditioned response, right? You say, oh, I'm struggling a little bit. People are like, oh my gosh, I should have never told you what I did, or I should have never relied on you, or I should have, or oh, I need to fix you. It's like, oh, I have to fix you. And I'm like, stop, I don't need to be fixed. I'm okay. I'm struggling, and I'm okay. And those are the other conversations I have to keep having. Yeah, especially I lost a family member of recent. There's just so many points of grief that are happening in my life, from loss of ability to move, loss of ability to have the same routine as there's so many changes which incorporate grief and loss and mourning, and people don't know necessarily how to handle that for me, because I've never really taken the time to teach them. And so this is such an important moment in my history and their history for our relationships, to teach them that just because I'm struggling doesn't mean I'm not okay. And I will always say that. I will always be honest, but I'm not going to hide or shrink or pretend that I'm not human. I feel like a lot of people who are in my industry pretend that nothing's wrong with them to make them seem like better leaders, and I just don't see that as good leadership. And that's again my opinion. I have a bird coming to my bird feeder. He's so cute. You probably can hear him. Anyways, I don't see that as good leadership. We can't pretend that these human challenges don't exist, or else we teach people that they shouldn't be going through them. life is life. There's nothing special about me or what I'm going through. Life is not picking on me. Like, this is life. Life is not meant to be fair. So the health stuff, the death, the relationship, communication, teachings, that's life. I'm okay. I know that that's part of life, and I know that I'm alive because I'm going through them, and I'm okay. I'm okay. Anyways, this bird is so cute. He keeps like, he'll like go on the branch, and then he'll go to the feeder, and then he'll like eat some things, and then he'll check me out while he's doing it, and then he'll go on the branch, and then he'll go over here, and anyways, it feels very much like my life right now. Okay, that's it. That's my update. Welcome back. I'm so stoked to be back. I'm so excited to share the space with you. If you're wanting to be here and you're new, like and subscribe. I don't think I've ever used those words, but hey, why not? Come along with the journey. Let's be friends. Seriously. Even if you don't want to share your story in this way, that's okay. It doesn't mean we can't have some type of connection point. So, yeah. Groovy gravy. Luna, is that it? Lou. Is that all? Okay, that's it. Okay, bye.